Excellent.
Thank you. I'm gonna make it my goal to open every single one of these episodes with a burp.
That's dedication.
It is dedication.
My brain was like, I should try to beat Kate to the punch, but I also was like, don't beat Kate to the punch. Let her have this moment. I don't want her to punch me. Kate would never punch me. At least I don't think she would.
Figure it out. It might make growing crops a lot easier.
I was wrong.
Just to be clear, I did not punch
No, she didn't punch me, but she did make a fist, so that made me think she would definitely punch me.
She did instill fear.
She instilled fear. Not going to beat Kate to the punch. She can burp at the beginning of every episode. I'll burp at the end of every episode.
No.
No. Okay. Phoenix dagger. The Phoenix dagger, if it breaks, it arises from the metal shavings.
Let's see.
Mike Wachowski. It's a house key that looks like Mike Wazowski.
Did you know that Mike Wazowski can't be hung for his crimes?
That is true.
Because he doesn't have a neck.
You also can't poke both his eyes out.
Yeah. That would be horrifying. I imagine he would just like, his body would just like collapse because he's all eyeball.
Oh, there.
So it would just like. Hello there. I'm getting in. Where are we going? The desert. Yes, we're gonna sail to the desert.
Yes.
Where's the water that connects to the desert?
Your mom.
Ayo?
But look, it's a fucking sand river.
As apparently it just works that way.
Oh,
I mean,
Professor, explain.
I mean, in Final Fantasy XIV, they actually allow you to fish into River of Sand and you catch actual creatures.
Here's the thing.
Oh shit! I needed to be back in the village.
This isn't even the first time I've seen something like that. And of all the places I saw this, it's in Mario Kart.
Oh, there.
Oh there. Wait a minute. Where am I supposed to go? Yeah.
Oh, there.
We must return.
Someday we'll get back to Facade. It's not going to be today though.
Maybe some other millennium.
Millennium. Okay.
Man, so Eminem must really like chocolates to name himself after him.
I despise you with
Eminem,
everything that I have.
the famous candy rapper Eminem.
Why am I supposed to be going home? Oh. Right. That's why I couldn't go to Facade.
Because you didn't follow the rules and get the invitation first.
Yes. Oh, good lord. Oh, I drank this tea. I don't know why I'm burping. I don't like it.
I would never be able to live in Facade. Too many rules.
The fact that these people would exist in that city, I'm just like, how?
You know what's cool though is that they made a connection to Facade and Automata because you can find the ruins of Facade, which I think is really neat. But and like you find ancient artifacts from Facade and like all of the machines there are wearing like masks like the Facade people.
I like that connectivity.
Yeah.
I always okay. So wait, you're talking about NieR
Automata.
Yeah, that's the sequel, right?
Yep.
Okay, yes. Then I can safely say I love it when sequels do that.
Yeah, because, like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves with a lot of sequels is, like, there's no fucking connection to anything from the previous game.
Yeah. Oh, you
Which is
know.
why, like, I love with, like, Last of Us 2, for example. Like, it's not a direct kind of connection to stuff, but you can, like, in flashbacks go back and see stuff.
I was gonna say, it kind of like the way we're talking about it kind of reminds me of like Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD for the GameCube. They take place in the same world, and there's a town called Pyrite Town where you go to in both games. But there's also a place called the Under in Coliseum, which was like an underground city below Pyrite Town. And in Pokemon XD, you can go to an old man in the city, and he'll say there used to be a town called the Under around here, but it was caved in recently. So they kind of acknowledge it, but they also say, like, this is what happened to it. That's why you don't go there. And I'm like, that's actually really cool. But
Like, it would be really neat if they did something similar like that with, like, some of the newer Pokemon games. Like, obviously I know the whole thing with Pokemon is, like, we're going to go to a different region for every new game, whatever. Like, this one was Paldea, the last one was Galar, right?
Yeah.
But, like...
They occasionally make nods or nods to other regions, but they don't actually like say if any time passes within those regions.
Like, I feel like it would be really cool if, for a Pokemon game, they did, like...
Oh, great.
Do what Black and White and Black and White 2 did. Direct sequel.
Yeah, and there's some acknowledgement to different things. Like one lady that was a gym leader in Black and White is no longer a gym leader in Black and White too.
I just mean, like, I feel like it would be really cool if, for a Pokemon game, they went the route of, like, instead of just sticking to one area, it was, like, a quote-unquote global Pokemon adventure. Like, I know that would be really hard to do.
Yeah,
but...
I've thought of that. Like, I think we thought of that too. It's like combine several regions.
The only problem with that is because they've established that different Pokemon leagues are based out of basically like provinces as opposed to entire countries. Like they've made it a bit more like entire countries since Generation 5. But considering it's outright stated that Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh are based on different prefectures in Japan.
Yeah.
They're basically saying, oh yeah, Japan's like 20 of these fucking things. Meanwhile, America, the entirety of the United Kingdom, which might I add, is 4 countries.
Is summarized in
Spain,
one region.
Spain and... actually, no, America has 2, technically. Because Hawaii is part of America.
Yeah.
So America has 2, Spain has 1, and the UK, again, 4 countries, has 1 league.
Yeah, because it's Britain, Wales, Scotland... Oh, technically there's 5.
North Ireland,
Britain, Wales, Scotland,
and North Ireland.
North Ireland, Republic of Ireland.
Republic of Ireland is not part of the UK.
But it's still 5 countries in that area.
I'm just saying it's not part of the UK. And Galar is much more heavily based on England and Scotland over anything else. There's very little to kind of represent an Irish culture.
Are we gonna get a Canadian region soon?
No, I doubt it. No, the rest of the world likes to lump us in with the Americans. Because this has just been bugging me for a while. Like, yes, a polar bear could exist in Alaska. It is an animal associated with Canada more often than not, though.
Yeah.
But it was the American region that got the polar bear.
God damn it. Beartic should have been ours.
There also isn't... Actually, there's not really a moose Pokemon.
People are all
Should
saying
be.
People are all saying it took us 9 generations to get a dolphin Pokemon. Where's the moose? Also, I was actually about to say the only time they ever did 2 regions in one was literally when there was only 2.
But it's like, you guys get what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
Of
it would be
course.
really cool for them to revisit other regions kind of thing as like a globally sort of
I
adventure.
100% get what you're saying, and I think that would be really cool. That would be a massive project, but like,
It would be huge, but I think it would be enough of a change to Pokemon's like kind of formulaic thing, because like obviously I haven't played a ton of the stuff. Like the only one I've played recently all the way through is Scarlet, but I feel like a lot of people's issue with Pokemon now is that like they're pumping things out really fast, and it's very like it's become very formulaic.
I was actually about to say, if they were to spend longer time on a bigger project,
I think people would like it more.
exactly, because first off, give them more time. It's like, if you're going to make such a big project, give them a long time to work on it, so that we're not seeing you just pump out games every year for the sake of pumping out games every year.
The problem for Pokemon though is that it's not really treated the same as other companies that treat game projects, because you've got Nintendo, Game Freak, and the Pokemon Company, or Creatures Inc. So all basically creating one company for the purpose of Pokemon.
Yeah.
But that causes a problem because the entire franchise is based off of the game releases. If the game gets delayed or pushed back, this is more me thinking like with the business side of things. That's card sets that have to be pushed back. That's plush that have to be pushed back. That's all this other merchandise.
Yeah.
That realistically, no one would lose their minds if they couldn't get the plush of a new Pokemon they haven't even seen yet.
Well, here's the thing though. If they were to do that kind of globally side of stuff rather than just pump out a brand new kind of thing, like have it be, going back, you have one of the characters is grown up or whatever and they're doing a global Pokemon thing, you could still release like newer versions of the older things then, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I personally think Pokemon's just getting a little too big for itself at this point.
Honestly, I think it's because Pokemon has been doing this for so long that the business side of things don't want to adjust.
yeah.
But the problem is, game design isn't a 1 or 2 year turnover anymore.
It can't be, especially when people are going for such high quality stuff.
No, that's my point. But
Yeah.
because the business side of things is still looking at like, oh, we can still keep up this model. It's just going to cause problems in the long run. But they don't. But as far as people on that side of things thinking, oh, it's just a game. It's just merchandise. So they might not ever give. Who knows if they'll ever give Pokemon like the game series the time to really do that. The only way I can see them alleviating that is if they hired another company. They kind of do what call Activision, like not Activision is a desirable thing at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say fuck Activision, we don't support them here.
But kind of do what Activision has done with Call of Duty and have multiple development teams working on different games.
Yeah.
So have Game Freak focus exclusively on mainline entries, but then have like 1 or 2 other studios working on side games that can release alongside it. Like,
Yeah.
just as an example, say Game Freak's next goal will be Generation 10. Give them whatever time they need to work on it, then bring another company in to do Legends Legends Kyurem or something. Like have another team take one of their core games that's not like the main generational titles and work on it, but don't do what was done for Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, which was outsource the entire thing to a separate company.
Yeah.
But that was a 1-to-1 remake. But like, give them creative freedom and that kind of thing. But give alternate companies the options to develop not mainline, but still important Pokemon titles.
Yeah, like
Just that
if they...
way, you've got. Sorry, just
No, go ahead.
Just that way, we can get some new Pokemon with like convergent evolutions or regional variants, and still have proper full Pokemon games, but they're not the next generation. And each of them can kind of base their stuff off of existing games, while Game Freak focuses on the next core game with a much longer development time.
Yeah, like I feel like that would work way better for stuff, because then it's like you're coming out with newer Pokemon games that people aren't fucking sick of, and also working to develop something truly special for a mainline game. I will say though, like obviously, don't take my word for anything because the only, like I said, the only one I've played recently is Scarlet. But like other than the one I'm doing like a personal nuzlocke and stuff for, which I need to work on at some point because I haven't touched it since I started it. But like, I really liked with the new one that it was felt very open. Like I liked the open world stuff of it. That felt really cool. But Pokemon needs to do something more than just open world to make it feel special again. You know? But do you know what else is special again?
Is it the next episode of Three Place?
No.